While I believe in tarot for liberation, personal healing, and confirmation, tarot should not dictate your actions or future. My goal is to create inclusive interactive experiences that allow you to use your own natural intuition and heart to reflect on your life and create your own discerning path for healing and expansion. Please keep in mind that the only way to receive a tarot card reading with me is by your own actions by following the link in my description below. I will never contact or solicit you for a personal reading. Hi, my name is Cicely, and I am an artist who reads under the name tarotraven. Welcome to my color alignment series. Today's color is red. Red has the lowest energy frequency and vibration of all the colors in the visible spectrum, also known as the rainbow. While red can represent many things, it is often associated with love, passion, desire, romance, leadership, rage, anger, and vibrancy. Being that it is the color of the very blood in our veins, red is definitely associated with the human experience. Perceiving the color red can create elevated blood pressure, enhanced libido, increased respiratory rates, enhanced metabolism, increased rapid decision-making, enthusiasm, energy, and confidence. Depending on its intensity and hue, red can be perceived as agitating and impressive, or wistful and romantic. Associated with the root chakra, which aligns energy, stability, comfort, safety, grounding, and foundation. In the pride flag, it represents life and sometimes also sensuality. Red is definitely one of my favorite colors. I especially love that the lighter tints of it are pink, and also deeper, richer, and brighter colors are things that I love to wear often, especially in red lipstick. You'll see that I have collected many red things from around the neighborhood and house, as well as different types of lipsticks and red back cards that we will use for our reading today. Let me introduce you to the 4 piles that I have for you today. Pile number 1's lipstick is called On Display. Pile number 2's lipstick is a USB flash drive. Pile number 4's lipstick is called Roleplay. Pile number 4's lipstick is called Dragon's Mane. Please calmly take a minute to think over which pile you're most intuitively drawn to. If you quiet your minds, it'll be really easy to decide which pile you're the most curious about. Link below, I'll have timestamps that will take you directly to whichever pile you picked and lead you to your group's reading. I'll see you there. Bye. Hi, if you picked pile number 1 with the lipstick called On Display, then this is your group's reading. Let's start with these pre-shuffled cards that I have prepared for you. I'm going to start first with the tarot cards on top. We have the 2 of Discs reversed, the 9 of Cups, and the 3 of Cups. All right, my group number 1 folks. I feel like with the 2 of Discs reverse, you are feeling a little bit out of balance at the moment. I am seeing a lot of like joy and fulfillment and contentment in your life because you have both the 9 of Cups, which is probably the happiest, like most self-contained and content card that you can get in the entire minor arcana. And you also have the 3 of Cups, which means that you're celebrating a lot with your friends and family. I'm wondering what might be making you feel a little off balance. The 2 of Cups is all about sort of juggling or balancing amidst a lot of chaos. And, you know, it could be potentially that the chaos in your life has felt like it's come to an end, or it could be that maybe you're doing so much, you're having so much time with yourself and your community and your friends that you feel like something is missing. Let's move further into your reading to see if we can get some hints of that. From these red back cards that I already shuffled for you, we have emotional energy. Emotions are messages to meet with appropriate attention, action, and gratitude. Misalignment. Miracles become normal once we face all of the aspects of our life in the same direction. Emptied. The ending and beginning lie at either side of the same door. Forgiveness. Hurt blocks our light. Broken dreams. Only you can accept or reject your dreams. Accountability. Responsibility is a gift of love to yourself and others. All right. Let's actually just move everything up. So we put these in here. There's definitely a lot of blue in your deck, as well as in your reading, as well as green and yellow. So those other videos might be something you want to check out too. My group number ones. Okay, so I do see that these cards are speaking a lot about what potentially might be the thing that's making you feel unbalanced. It does seem as though there's something that happened that didn't really go as planned. I mean, I could see potentially sometimes when things throw us off balance, we might want to distract ourselves with a lot of like our own projects and energies and partying with our community and celebrating. You might be one of those types that is a distractor, someone who's maybe not necessarily wanting to look within. It does seem that there's some emotional energy and misalignment that you're feeling. Maybe there's something that happened recently that just didn't go as planned, like, you know, an ending of a relationship, an ending of a job, an ending of some sort, that you feel a strong part in how that ended. Like you feel some responsibility for the way that things went wrong. And inside of you, there's a voice that's really asking you to address it, but maybe you're not able to, or maybe you kind of fear doing that or something like that. My group number ones. But these cards are calling you to take accountability and also have some forgiveness. When we take accountability for things that we've done, not only does it make other people feel good about our, our honor and our commitment to others, but it also feels good to ourselves. Like when there's something in the back of your mind that's telling you that something went awry or astray, you know, in your heart that you have to address it. I mean, it is also like one of the foundations of things like AA, when people are more inclined to addiction. There's a practice of making amends with things and going back and trying to resolve problems that they may have created when they weren't in their best frame of mind, or they weren't their best selves because they were so thrown into addiction, to whatever degree they were. And going back and addressing those things head on and taking strong accountability is not only one way to show commitment to the change in their lives of wanting to become sober, but also something that keeps them, helps them stay sober. My group number one's not saying that this is something that you're specifically dealing with, and if it is, I wish you all the strength, because I know it's not easy. But it does sound like there's something in the back of your mind that's sort of that's kind of gnawing at you to want to look for that accountability and that forgiveness. You don't really feel completely in alignment with the energy that you're giving. All right. And then also, I think forgiveness too. They always say that forgiveness is more for you than it is for other people. And I think that we don't talk enough about this, that like when we fall into alignment with our own selves, when we forgive ourselves, when we get to a better place, it is something that ripples out and helps other people around us too. Just in the same way where someone who's in a foul, terrible mood, even though that mood is not everyone else's mood, sometimes it does affect, the vibe of the whole, all the different situations and places that they go in that day. And, we don't want to make our problems other people's while we're dealing with them all the time. I mean, at least that's something that I think about a lot, is trying to keep my own struggles to myself. Sometimes I have a hard time letting other people in on what's going on with me. Maybe you're like me, or maybe you're not. Not to make this about me, but I'm saying that as an example. But maybe it's time to speak on what you're going through a little bit, and bring that out into your broader community, and not hold it in so tightly that it makes you feel sometimes, more of that nagging feeling. My group number ones. Okay, I'm going to move ahead into your reading to the next deck. And it has these roses on the back, so very perfect for our reading. Oh yeah, also, and this is a very shiny edge. This is a new deck to me, so we're just gonna, ride the vibes. We're just gonna feel out what it's trying to tell us. Okay, grounding messages for group number one. Okay, one fell on the floor, so hold on just 1 second. All right, I'm back. At the bottom of the deck, we have the giver. So I'm just going to leave this open here for us to think about. We have the seeker. Yeah, I think that we are in search of a lighter heart, my group number ones. The companion. The hero. The lover. And the artist. I don't know if you, I feel like these terms remind me of things like numerology and, I don't know, Myers-Briggs, like the different descriptions they have of the different personalities or archetypes. And it'll be trying to speak a lot to the personal values and beliefs and goals of the person. But what I'm getting from these roses is that you are someone who gives a lot. You're someone who wants to be there for other people. You're a lover, a hopeless romantic, someone who wants to come in and save the day. You're probably a creative type as well. And I think that there's the things that you're seeking have not always really fulfilled you in the way that you aim to fulfill other people. I think there's something to people who are givers where we sometimes forget to give back to ourselves. And I guess I'm identifying with that, and I said we. But givers in general have learned to get along with other people and in the world through the act of providing or giving or receiving or being the hero. and like a shiny lover or companion, but aren't necessarily taught the skills of giving that to themselves or receiving. And I think it can be a learning arc in those individuals' lives to sit back and think about, where are the things that I need to give to myself? Where are the areas that I've been giving away that maybe I need to roll back and hold on to a little bit more? All right, group number one. Let's go further into your reading. I'm going to pull from this deck called Inspired by Frida. Frida Kahlo is definitely one of my favorite artists, and every one of these cards has a beautiful back like that, and I'll try to show you yours as they come out. But so, what are grounding messages for our group number one, folks? All right, that's a lot. Okay, so our first one. Aim at one thing, focus your arrow and pull back the bow. Be precise with your aim. You are a living work of art. You're always becoming your true self. Ooh, I'll put that by the artist. Be prepared for more learning, opportunities, understanding, and love. Scatter the seeds of your untamed, tender dreams with your singing fingers. Meet with a dear friend, drink some tea, and talk about happy things. Enjoy each other. I'll put that by the Three of Cups. Apply your gifts to life, working hard on your own course so you experience contentment. What was I saying, my group number ones? Apply some of that giving to yourself. All right, last but not least, and this is the first one that came out. As you must serve everything you create, it's a good idea to do so with love and integrity. Okay, I do get the feeling that this pile perhaps is sort of involved in something that feels like a new love. It might be a person, place, or thing. Something that like maybe you're just like, you've been single for a while, or if you're in a relationship, things have been pretty content and peaceful, but there's something that hasn't been spoken about or something that hasn't been talked about. If you've been single for a while, you're like looking to put yourself out there a little bit. But there are some things that you've been healing from that have been sort of in the back of your mind, or some ways that you've interacted with others that you recognize are things that you need to change. I mean, I think that that is such a common place to be, where you're looking at potential new partners. But I think that I just want to reassure you, group number ones, that you are definitely people who have a lot of go-getter energy. You're someone who seems to be able to make things happen. If you put some of that good energy into yourself and work on feeling good, and if you work on having your actions be those that are ones that you're enacting with integrity, I think that you're going to get to a place that you want to be. Definitely this card is calling for you to be open to more learning and understanding and more opportunities. And yeah, I think that there's a lot of space for you to just be like your very true self, like your whatever wacky quirkiness that you have, and just kind of be someone who's out there in all of their vibrancy. It does seem like you're a very joyful and vibrant person that has like a lot of dynamic internal emotional experiences. So I think that anyone would be definitely very lucky to get to learn and know more about who you are on the inside. So I hope that as you're, giving to others, you remember to give to yourself and really be with the people and the places that you're going, especially if you are seeking new experiences and new joy and new love. I think that you can have anything that you want, my group number ones. I hope that you have a great night, and if this reading resonated for you in any way, please leave a comment below. I love hearing what people's experiences of the readings are, and if it felt like it resonated with you, please give it a like. The more likes I get, the more people will be able to find these videos too. And with that, I hope you have a great day. Bye. If you chose group number 2 with the lipstick USB flash drive, then this is your group's reading. I'm just going to move that over here. All right, group number 2s, let's get into your reading with these pre-shuffled tarot cards. You have the Princess of Discs reversed, the Nine of Swords reversed. That looks intense, but it's a good thing. Oh, the Ten of Cups. Wow. Well, I'm getting this feeling that the cards are telling me, because the Nine of Swords is here in reverse, that you've recently come out of a period of time where you were in a lot of overthinking, analysis paralysis, that kind of thing, where you've been in your head, not sure what you wanted to do next, really taking a lot of time to think or overthink a lot of different things. But you have gone on you have gone through a period of time where you have been learning new things, especially things that will bring you financial abundance or abundance in general. I think that with the Princess of Disc, maybe you felt like there's a lot of learning that you still need to do, but you are coming out of a period of time where you were sort of all in with your money or with your abundance in some way. Maybe you were securing a new place to live. Maybe you had you were working a lot at a job and that's over now. Something like that. And now you're focused on your home. I see with the Ten of Cups, you're looking at where you want to invest, and that could be in your own home and your physical space. It could also be about people and places that are really making you feel very, very emotionally fulfilled, things that you are going to bring so much joy to your life. I feel like the Ten of Cups is all about this very happy home with like a committed couple and their children. In this card in particular, it has little kids in the background. So looking at this place that they've built together, this like legacy or this situation that they've built. And so I think that you are currently building that for yourself, or you're looking into what will bring you that sort of emotional fulfillment. Where in your life can you invest in that way? I believe my group number 2 folks. So I'm going to move on to this deck with the red lotus chakra on the back. Repair. Oh, this is so cute. Making amends rather than fun times reveals the relationship's true contribution. I think that there's, we really don't talk a lot about all of the communication and repair that goes into lasting relationships. So I love this card for showing that with this older couple that have over time built this giant quilt through and are going through and repairing all the spots that have come loose. this is the Ten of Cups energy. Again, this is just further confirmation for where you want to put that investment. And in relationships, investment includes repair, working on things that have not felt good, like having those hard talks, and that sort of vulnerable communication is a big part of strengthening our relationships with each other. This does make me wonder if perhaps this reading is about a connection to another person. Maybe you are in a relationship with someone and there's some potential learning that you feel like you need to do on how to work at that repair and how to communicate better to strengthen that relationship. Let's move on to the next card. We have Radical Self-Love. Wow. I think that I love how everything I've pulled so far just feels really in line with the first set of cards. Like, this definitely feels like the lesson that you learn from coming out of this amount of overthinking and anxiety. And even the colors are similar. Well, anyway, let me read this. We can only receive love to the extent that we unconditionally love and live in the truth of ourselves. And I don't think that that means the thing that you so commonly hear, where you can't be loved unless you love yourself first, or you, what else? Hurt people. I don't think that that's exactly the takeaway that that should have for you. I think it's more about, being able to love ourselves through changes, love ourselves through, maybe not ideal situations and places that come up for us. So, and understanding that if I can do it, someone else can do it too. Like, if I can love myself through terrible situations and through my own mistakes, then someone else can do it too. And I can accept that as well. I think radical self-love has more to do with loving yourself when it's not as easy to love yourself, my group number twos. And I'm not saying that you're not easy to love, because I imagine you are, but just that there are times when we can be fed up with ourselves and feel like it would be understandable if other people would be fed up with us too. At least I've been there, my group number two, folks. Voice. Okay. You are here to be known, so speak and be seen. Wow. I just love the person on this deck, just how they're adorned. But I'll say this too, maybe perhaps this goes back to needing to communicate on something, or needing to learn how to speak up for yourself or speak to things in a broader way. It might be that you're the type of person who will gain notoriety and wealth off of using their voice and speaking up to others and speaking to things that other people don't speak on. You might be that kind of person, my group number two, folks. But I do think that there's probably something connected to your overthinking, where sometimes when there are things that we need to say, we can really stew on them a lot, and there are voices inside of our head, like, not that I'm saying you're hearing voices, but that little like conscience in the back of your head that's saying, we need to speak up, we need to say something about this. So perhaps you're doing some of that, blue, indigo, throat chakra healing, where you're learning to speak up more for yourself, and not only that, but speak to things that are not being said. All right, last card we have radical self-acceptance. Okay. Radical self-love and radical self-acceptance. You are perceived the way you perceive yourself. So I think that there's something to be said for, the takeaway should not be that you only get perceived the way that you think of yourself. The takeaway should be more that if you're a person who can sit in any situation confidently and you are able to accept who you are, that radiates out and people pick up on that energy too. I don't think that we all have like our days when we have some self-doubts and we're not thinking the best of ourselves, but at the end of the day, we should be striving to accept you know, a little bit of how this life is. Like, you are this like really unique individual, and I get the feeling that you're hiding a little bit of that in the situation that you have been going through. And when you're looking forward to investing and repairing and creating with other people and in your own life, um, you should definitely take yourself into consideration while you're doing that, because if not for you, then who am I? Group number 2, folks, should we be considering how to tailor our life to a certain extent? You have to be a part of the equation, and you have to be able to be honest about what you're bringing to the occasion, with who you are. So, and that is a big part of why radical acceptance is important. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep going into your deck, and I'm gonna pull some roses from this rose deck. It also has this very shiny red side, which is very nice. I'm going to show you that. I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle this on camera. Okay, grounding. Well, love. And all things red. Okay, again, I had things falling for. Bear with me. That happened in the last reading too. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the innovator. And I'm just going to put that over here for us to think about. Yeah, what was I saying? You guys seem like you are a very unique person. The outsider. Okay, more of that same energy. Oops. The storyteller. Wow, okay, so what was I saying? I think you guys might be people who people want to listen to. You're someone who has a story to tell. The gambler. Oh, and a yellow rose. There's not that many of those in the deck. That's why I'm excited to see it. You know, there's also just a lot of yellow here, so perhaps the yellow reading might be for you, if not the indigo or blue reading. If you want to check out the other videos that I have posted. The Democrats. The warrior. The gardener. And the liberator. Wow. You know, I just think that you, my group number 2s, you seem like a really powerful person, and I wish I knew who you were, because you seem so interesting and authentically yourself. And so it's kind of sad for me to think that you maybe have been struggling with being inside of your head and not loving or accepting yourself. But I think you could be someone who is like an activist, or someone who's into social justice, or, you know, just like doing good or doing better for the world. Like someone who can look at situations and see that they need to change. And maybe even someone who's willing to fight for, you know, the little guy, the underdog. The gift of the outsider is that they can have like a really honest perspective on what's going on, because they're not so close to the situation to get lost in it. They can look at the things from a fresh outside perspective, literally, because they're outside. And it does seem like you are probably very charming with the Democrat. You might be someone who is able to have, you know, that sort of silver tongue effect when you want to, at least. But I get the feeling that you are starting to grow these ideas that you're going to come into being able to speak to others. That this is a really important time that you're going through right now, where you are starting to understand your story and your voice and where that needs to be applied. You know, whether you're like a musician and you're writing new songs for the first time, that you are scared, but know that one day they need to get out there, or you're someone who's in a leadership role at their place of employment. I think that you are a person that people look up to, whether you realize it or not, that people admire for their conviction and their ideas and being so authentically a unique and interesting person. There might be some risks that you are needing to take or going to take in the future in order to make these things happen. And I definitely see that you're growing these beautiful aspects of yourself and the things that you will leave as a legacy in your life with the gardener. I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards from this deck, which is called Inspired by Frida. Definitely a huge Frida Kahlo fan. And she's really great. And all of these have this like beautiful back. So I'll try to show them to you as I get them to you. So grounding and red messages for pile number 2, folks. I have 1. Okay, that was a lot. So let's go with that. You have yet another yellow thing. Your creativity will always be useful when your mind is neutral and dutiful. Meditate every day. So meditation might help you ground your mind enough to really see the things that you're bringing into this world into fruition. Since you're coming out of that period of time of overthinking and, you know, potentially that analysis paralysis, and you're looking to where you want to make investments and where you want to grow your happy home in whatever real or metaphorical thing that may be, meditation might help you with clearing your mind. As you must serve everything you create, it's a good idea to do so with love and integrity. And the back looks like that. I don't know if we think so much about the things that we create into the world being something that we also are of service to. But I really like that message too, that everything we do create, in some ways we are of service to, at least in the time that we've created it. It is an act of service to create in some ways. And I think sometimes when you really think about what you make will do for other people, it can be so much easier to put it out there into the world, knowing that someone else will benefit from what you create can be a good motivator for getting out of your head and just making it. Choose to see creative energy in everything you do, no matter what, and you will recognize opportunity. Yeah, I think that you guys are maybe a different type of creative, where creativity is so much in where you invest your time and where you express yourself the most. And that might not be like a painting or drawing or something like that. It might be an alternative creative outlet. Like, for instance, my alternative creative outlet is reading for you guys in this color alignment series. Though I might also paint or draw, who's to say that something else can't be just as creative? Okay, next. Don't play wishy-washy. Paint the world with your clarity and create with clear ideas about love. Yeah, I do think that there might be something here where you're looking to invest in something very loving and lasting. Maybe a person, place, or thing. And you might not be quite sure that you're ready to go for it or that you can go for it. But I think this is just encouraging you to, you know, sort of, what am I trying to say? Shoot your shot, you know, just go for it. Like, thinking too much about are you ready or not is sometimes just a way that we waste time, because usually when we feel perfectly ready for something, our opportunity is gone already. You know, and you can say in that moment where you're making that new investment that you're wanting to fill it out, you're not sure how ready you are for a fully fleshed out thing, but you want to put it out there that this is the direction you want to go in. And, you know, see how that rides. See how that goes. Okay, specialize in your creative life trade so prosperity comes to you. Your heart knows this. Yeah, you were meant to do this. Another yellow. Do you feel free? And what does it mean to you? Say, I am free, I am free, I am free. You know, I think that because you seem like such a unique individual, if you are the type of person who is just recently busy working a very traditional job, I could see that being a little bit stifling for you, you know, or maybe some of the things that you've recently invested a lot of your time and learning energy into haven't really made your heart feel very free. And you know that there's something different that you should be pivoting your energy to, you know, whether that's another type of work or your creative personal projects or a person that you want to build a legacy with. My group number 2s, I think that you know that you've been set free to go on to bigger and better things that are calling to you. And here's our next card. I know there are a lot of them, so bear with me. You can only lift others above fear with creativity, love, and lightness of being. Yeah, people are inspired by those who are creative. As much as we, at least in this country that I live in, don't necessarily invest in creative types, we really can't survive without the inspiration that creativity gives us as a culture. And this one's Red Roses, perfectly matching this reading. Connect to your inner sense of the beauty of wisdom, being grateful for your whole journey. And last but not least, meet with a dear friend, drink some tea, and talk about happy things. Enjoy each other. Yeah, I do think that there's someone, my group number 2s, that you have on your mind that you should be telling some of these dreams to. I think that's a really beautiful thing. I'm just going to leave you with that thought. Who is that person, place, or thing that you want to go towards? And I wish you just all the speed and courage to do it without any haste. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today. I hope that you found it grounding or helpful. If it resonated for you at all, please leave a comment below and let me know. I love hearing how things resonated for people. It makes me so happy to be doing this, knowing that it's actually feeling accurate or at least helpful to people. And if it helped you at all, please consider giving it a like, because that will help other people find this video. I hope you have a great day. Bye. If you chose the studded lipstick called Roleplay, then this is your group's reading. Put that over there. Let's get started with these pre-shuffled tarot cards on top. We have the Ace of Discs. This is all about a situation that's coming into your life that will be bringing you a lot of opportunity for abundance, whether that is financial abundance or emotional abundance. It is up to you, my group number 3s. So let's move further in to see what it might be relating to the Six of Discs. I like to think of this card as about being about charity, and the type of charity where it's not just giving to other people like a superhuman, but the charity that comes from the give and take of energy and resources. So sharing in giving with other people, knowing that you could be in that position where you need to receive one day too, and being open to that cycle. The Six of Discs, it generally shows two people in an exchange of money, but you're not sure who's giving and who's receiving. I really like this depiction of it where who we're not sure who is giving to this picture, if it's coming into the art or out of the art towards the people. It's pretty unclear, and that should be the cycle of charity as not a one-way street, but a way to solidarity. Okay, the Three of Swords. So my group number threes, recently you have been in a period of time where your heart has been a little bruised and broken by something. And then your next card is the Four of Cups, which is about a lot of ambivalence. Typically someone who's preoccupied by things that have not gone their way. You see this person staring at where they want to put their cup, and there's a rose there instead, which is so appropriate for a red reading, ironically. But they can't really get over the fact that that's not the spot where their cup is going to go. It's sort of this sort of apathy or fixation on something that maybe isn't as integral to the bigger picture, but is hard to let go of. Well, I think that there's perhaps something that happened in the situation that broke your heart a little bit, that you're having a hard time letting go of, my group number three folks. Let's move on to, sorry, I want to show you the back of this red deck with the cards I already shuffled for you. Wisdom in play. Our tuition knows more than we do. We have Melting Mask. Allow your spirit self to shine through the many roles you fulfill. I like that. And Inner Integration. There is peace, equilibrium, and fulfillment in integrating the inner world with the taming and tempering effect life has on us. Okay, so my group number threes. Oh wow, I didn't realize for a second. I don't know why I didn't realize that you have 3 and 6 and also another 3. What are the chances of that, group number threes? I think that there are some I think this card, Wisdom in Play, is telling us that there's something here that is going on in the bigger picture that our intuition is telling us is for the best, either with this new opportunity or what has recently been something that we're kind of healing from. Melting Mask. I think that sometimes when we get hurt, and we all get hurt in different ways, I don't want to make light of whatever happened either. I'm sorry that whatever it is, but sometimes when we do get hurt, we have a hard time showing our full selves again. Just thinking like, you know, if my previous self is what got me into that previous situation, why would I let that Cicely back out? I mean, at least that's an example from a first perspective. But this is really calling you to say that it's okay. You can really show who you are, show your quirks, and show what is your calling card, what makes you you. There's something here that we need to integrate into us. I hear a lot about, you know, integrating some of our not as favorable qualities. I mean, it's really interesting how we label some things favorable and not in the first place, if you really think about it. Like our anger, or times when we're sad, or, you know, feeling a little scorn and petty. Like sometimes those things can serve greater purposes. I think that the problem is when we lean on them a little too much, and as long as that's not something that you're doing, like if you're able to feel angry and express it, that is super healthy, my group number threes. If you're able to feel sad and express it, it's a demonstration that you're a human being, and that is so vital to everyone to see, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that you might be trying to hide something about yourself, and this card, inner integration, is really calling you to, you know, show the world, unleash it, integrate it into who you are, because it is a part of you. I'm going to move on to this rose duck, and I wanted to show you what it looks like. Very red, and it has this very pretty side foil. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay, I'm going to show this on camera. All right, grounding and all things red. On group number 3. One more. Okay, 2 more. All right, at the bottom of the deck we have the caregiver. So I'm wondering if, you know, it could be that some of you have recently lost someone that you were caring for. And I'm so sorry if that's true. My group number 3s, my condolences. If that is you. The pioneer, the alchemist, which is also 3. Oh wow, the caregiver is 33. This is kind of freaky. Coincidence. 28, the explorer. 5, the architect. And 6, the healer. Another 6. Okay, I could also see with the 6 of disc how that fits into being a caregiver originally too, because it is so much about giving from a place where you really care. Okay, I think that my group number 3 folks are really, you have been in a period of time where you've been a little grounded by something, and you are looking for ways, you are looking for new things that will align with your spirit. I mean, I know technically most people don't think that we're living in a pandemic anymore. This is, you know, 2022 when I'm reading this, but travel and exploration and this sort of easy movement that we once have, I feel like has changed a lot in the last couple of years. And maybe you are someone where that is an important part of who you are, and how you move through the world and touch other people is through, you know, going new places and exploring new things. And that can be something that is very healing for you. I think that, you know, this group could also be my people who are great nurses, or, you know, that person that people call on when they need some last minute help or someone to help them move. Like, you're a very loving, dependable person. And I think that you're able to turn bad situations into amazing ones. They're able to make something out of nothing. You're an alchemist. And I think that that's such a beautiful thing. I really think that we need people like you in the world, and I just want to give you those props for the strength that it takes to do those things and that type of work. And so I'm glad that you are in this world and that you've joined me for this color alignment in red, my group number 3 folks. You might be building something in this moment, maybe not necessarily something super tangible, but you're planting the seeds and thinking about some designs. Like, it could be something physical, like a house, like maybe literally in architecture and making plans for buildings. But I'll get the impression that you're in a period of time of healing, and when you're the type of person that when you heal, you can't help but heal other people around you. And the thing that you're building is your next steps in your life right now and your next big plans and your next places that you want to go and the things that you want to do and see. Something has sort of been holding you back, whether that was your own thoughts or something that you had to recently do. But I do see our original thing that we saw was in the Ace of Disc, a new opportunity coming to you, and it's going to be one that you have to put a lot of careful planning into. Usually the energy of the disc is all about the the work of something, and not necessarily like your 9 to 5 job or whatever hours you might work for someone else, but just in the like careful planning and the steps and the specific ways that you would go about making something come into fruition, and loving that process and really falling in love with the process sometimes over the outcome. And I think that when we're dreaming up new things, we have to, what part of that dream needs to also be, what are the steps I need to take? What is the first step, the third step, the second step? That is something that has been on your mind in some way. Okay, I'm going to move into my last deck that I have for you, which is this one, inspired by Frida. All these cards are very pretty with their own individual beautiful drawing on the back. So let's get into this one. I'm going to shuffle it. Okay. Sorry, healer. Grounding messages for group number 3. All right, we'll just take that many, and I'll take the back. So I'll try to show you each of the different images as I go. So the first one looks like that. This was the one that was on the back. Choose to see creative energy in everything, no matter what, and you will recognize opportunity. And that opportunity is coming to you no matter what. But I think it is calling for you to have an open mind about what that might be. And here's the next one. Your birthright is to explore your creative path and be happy for your entire life. Yeah, I mean, what coincidence, right? Underneath the Explorer. And meet with a dear friend, drink some tea, and talk about happy things. Enjoy each other. I think that might be part of your charity, that you need to connect with someone else and enjoy their company. Oh wow, yellow. A soul that touches the world with truest creativity will leave a legacy of love. Yeah, I think that there is creativity in the way that you give and the way that you heal, my group number 3s. This is such a beautiful message. I am so sorry for whatever happened that had your heart a little broken. And I am going to draw from another deck for you. Don't tell the other groups you're the only one I'm doing this for. At least I think so. I haven't done all the groups yet. And if you're from the other groups, well, welcome. Getting an extra treat. So I'm going to draw a card from this called the Grief Companion, because it seems like there has been some heartache and loss in your life. I recognize that the tarot does not always do a great job of addressing grief in tangible, clear ways. So I got this because it really does. And I'm going to draw from this section, which is red. The red and pink, because, pink is just a light hue of red, since this is the color that we are on today. So I'm just going to close my eyes and get from here to about this big. So right in here, I just want to get more than one. Okay, I ended up getting 3. Overflowing cups. It's helpful to think of your emotional well-being as a cup that is currently filled to the brim. There is no extra space for the day-to-day things that you would normally handle with grace. Give yourself a little life sabbatical and do only the essentials, ditching negotiable tasks and creating boundaries around unnecessary actions, whether that be small talk, answering the phone, typical socialization, and life admins. Yeah, sometimes we do need a little break while we're healing. And this card is saying it's totally cool for you to take that. Secondary losses. With the loss of a loved one, often comes secondary losses that can be just as difficult to process. These might include loss of a sense of security, identity, memory, home, confidence, faith, friends, family, financial security, health, job, dreams, intimacy, support systems, or a shared future. I don't want to freak you out. These are not necessarily all the things that you're losing necessarily, especially if you haven't lost anything. But I do think it's giving a lot of examples for things that can come with other losses, whether that be a loved one or not. Sometimes when our life changes, things that we didn't expect also change, is really the short end of it. It's important to identify and mourn these things as there are valid losses in your life too. I think sometimes we can feel silly for mourning things that are not people. And so especially if it's not a person that you've lost, if it's something else that has your heart feeling a little tender, I just want to give you the permission that it's okay to mourn that thing. Like it's not dumb. Like if it was something that was important to you, it's something you can totally mourn. Memories folder. It's nice to have a little collection you can dip into, immerse yourself in a good memory of your loved one. This can be particularly helpful to you if you have strong or intrusive memories of the end of their lives. Create a folder on your phone so it's always with you with images. Bonus points for audio recordings, videos, letters, emails, or text messages. Then whatever you need, you can jump in and see them smiling and hear their voice. Again, if this is not a person, then really, make a collection of things, of happy memories that can hold you up while you're going through your healing. Group number 3, folks. Maybe, there's something that will help remind you of who you are. I actually do keep a folder like that on my computer. That's called Remind Me Who I Am. And I put in different things about myself. And some of those things are like the Big 5 test. When I took it, I think a lot of people take that test and they get things like organized or communicative. Mine was like, you're a righteous leader and you're a visionary. And it's not necessarily that I think I'm like the next MLK out here, but I do think that there are qualities of myself that are not easy to express, but I think are important to who I am. And maybe you can feel this way too. Things that make you proud of being who you are, things that really remind you of, your very real, valid identity and values and the things that make you you. Maybe there's like, times when you took pictures and you were looking really good. You can keep those to remind you of, being beautiful, or feeling you felt when you took the picture, of feeling that way. So my group number 3, folks, I hope that you are definitely able to be a little bit more open with your expansion and the way that you are moving out into the world. It sounds like you are a really beautiful light that will bring a lot of hope and love and light to other people. As corny as that sounds, that's the vibe that I get, that you are a really, important type of person for us to have in the world. So if this reading resonated for you at all, consider giving this video a like and leaving a comment below letting me know how it felt to you. I always like hearing people's experiences of the readings, and I hope that you have a lovely day and you are out there building your dreams, and I'll see you next time. Bye. If you chose group number 4 with the Dragon Mane lipstick, then this is your group's reading. Just gonna put that over there. I'm gonna go ahead and start with these pre-shuffled tarot cards I have for you. We have the Prince of Wands in reversed. I think that perhaps, well, first of all, there's a lot of orange and yellow, so you might want to check out the orange and yellow reading. Definitely struck by that, first of all, but I think that you have been in a period of time where you are, you either are slowing down or you feel like you've been going too fast. You know, I've definitely been in situations where I felt both at once. So that might be you too. Let's keep going to find out more. The Knight of Swords. Oh, sorry, the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is definitely a time when you have created a lot of barriers and blockages for yourself. It can be about, you know, being in your head too much. It can be about having a lot of work to do. And I think if it's reversed, you are realizing that you are the one who's been your own worst enemy in that regard. And all of the things that you've been feeling and thinking and need to do, you kind of are putting them on yourself. You realize that you can be free of that way of thinking. The Hermit, you've been spending a lot of time potentially with yourself and your own energy. So I do get the sense that this is more of a slowing down for you. Maybe it's been after a period of a lot of thinking and working, and so it's a much deserved retreat into your head and into your own energy. With the Three of Wands, you are looking into where you want to expand to, into your future. The Three of Wands is a card of leaders and those who have a lot of foresight for where they can expand. Let's move on to your next cards. They look like this with a red back. The Unknown. Well, number 5. Knowing the unknown is all it says. Though I love that image. That's definitely our Three of Wands energy. 43 inner life. Wow. Okay, that's a very hermit-esque card. Your inner life is a garden to be cultivated. And the next one is moving forward. Okay, well, I'm really impressed by how well these are lining up. This is definitely giving me Three of Wands energy about your next steps and where you are looking to expand. The first step is taken within our stillness, which definitely relates to the inner life and hermit energy that I think that you are in right now as things have slowed down for you. Okay, let's move on into your reading, and I'm going to channel more things about who you are with this deck, with the rose on the back. It also has this really pretty foil. I want to show everybody. Okay, I'm going to shuffle this on camera. They are a little new and a little stiff, but that's why we shuffle. Okay, grounding. And all things red for my group number 4s. So on the back of the deck, we have the Alchemist, meaning that you are a person who's able to create something out of unrelated or almost nothing circumstances, people, places, or things. I do get this sort of like sensual feeling from your reading, group number 4, is that perhaps you are sort of trying to blunt your senses by getting some time alone. But that I do think that you are like a very a person who's really connected into the richness of the world in some way. Maybe you like love colors and textures, or you have an eye for appreciating things that other people don't see. The rebel, the father. Oh, maybe some of you are fathers, or you're doing some self-fathering. The healer, the knight, the self, and the flirt. Well, I feel like I know you guys. Sort of laughing because it's pretty likely that I do know you at this point. But I don't know who it is at all. But I feel like the flirt, I was getting a very sensual vibe from you guys. So I think that you are also someone who is not afraid to be sensual and flirtatious. You are a very caring person, though you also might have that sort of like pedantic nature to you, like a very paternal figure. Rebel, you're someone who goes against the grain and does things in an unusual way. The healer, you are able to heal others while you heal yourself, I think. You're someone who's able to give easily and provide, just like a father, but also in a way that's very caring and delicate, like a healer. The knight, I think that you are someone who has been great at jumping into things and giving a lot of energy to the situation, which is something that the Knight of Wands, I feel like, is very reminiscent of. When you're in the Prince stage, you're still doing a lot of learning about movement and action, not quite a knight. But I do think that you are someone who has that ability to jump in and have a great idea and sort of solve problems. You have that insight. Like, not only do you have foresight, you also have insight. And I think that that's really something you're strengthening right now as you slow down and give more time to yourself and think about where you want to expand. Think about the things you don't know yet. Though I do want to reiterate that you have been feeling stuck in your life currently, and you know that there's something you need to change. I think that that will come in time as you look for your path forward. Also, too, I feel like when you are naturally a rebel, someone who I think that we don't talk a lot about how a rebel needs rules to break. They are like a person who brings different perspective to situations that help move us forward, because they're willing to not do what everyone else does. They're willing to have a different perspective, and it's usually a unique, beautiful one that we need to hear, even if it doesn't feel so good to certain people to hear it. It's definitely something that usually needs to be said, and that's the beauty in being a rebel. And so you have that rebellious streak, my group number 4s. And I've been thinking a lot about rebellion too, and how much we sort of judge it as like a young trait, like a teenager type thing. And while it is really important for preteens and teens to push boundaries and therefore learn their limits and their boundaries as they grow, I mean, that's developmentally what they're doing when they're being teenagers and preteens. It's like really important for all of our development to go through that phase. That is not the same as rebellion. Rebellion and being a rebel is something that you are gonna feel for your whole life. It's not a streak you go through. It's not a time that you go through. And it is unfair to judge it as something that's juvenile, because we need those people in the world. We need those people who are willing to go against the grain and say things that no one's saying. It's a vital, beautiful thing to have people like you who are able to see that and say it so easily, because it's not something that comes easy to everyone. Okay, I'm going to move further into your reading, and I'm going to pull from this deck, which is inspired by Frida, and each one of these cards has this beautiful portrait on the back, so I'll try to show them to you as I go. If I forget one, I'm sorry, but I'm going to try. So I'm going to shuffle these. Oh, they're shuffled so nicely. Okay, so grounding, messages, and wisdom for pile 4. Oh wow, I feel like I just made a mess and turned over a bunch of cards. Well, let's take these because they turned over for you. I don't know what that voice was. That just came out of me. It just happens sometimes. Okay, so here's the first one. Go to the depth of your heart, speak with who you are, and know yourself intimately. Go to the depth of your heart, speak with who you are, and know yourself intimately. Oh yeah, that is definitely something that happens when we have that inner life searching, that time with ourselves. Yeah, I think that you are definitely already doing that. So here's the next one. Give the world hope with your warm smile, effective etiquette, and graceful heart. Yes. Yeah, you are totally a flirt. You are stronger than you think and more than you know. Be curious and determined. Oh, put that there. Oh, very green. Specialize in your creative life trade so prosperity comes to you. Your heart knows this. Yeah, perhaps you've been you've been feeling called to do more of not the work that you do for other people, but the work that you are, have in your heart to do, that you feel called to do just in your existence. I think that we don't always really appreciate those things in ourselves as much. We're like, oh, I can't do that because I need to get this thing done for my boss or that thing done for my job. But the work that you have in your heart to do is just as important as those things, if not more, because it is part of your life's purpose. Typically, something that you feel is important to finish just because you feel it, usually. So here's our next card. Apply your gifts to life, working hard on your own course so you experience contentment. What was I just saying? Yeah, I don't need to open that up. Next one. If you need to repair something, use gold and be creative. See the value in mending. Yeah, one of the things that I do as an art form is creative repair or mending, like redesigning clothing. And I think that this one is talking about the I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but the art of in Japan, where they use gold to repair broken pottery, and it creates this new, even stronger piece that then is, beautifully imbued with golden lines through it. So perhaps there's something in your life that you feel like has been broken, and it's been weighing on your mind in some way. And one way that you can address that is through, creative reframe. Like, how can that thing actually be, you know, a gold-lined pot instead of just a broken pot that you don't have anymore. My group number 4s, I think that that's something that it's calling you to do, and where you look for your expansion and where you look for applying yourself in the future. What are some ways to reframe the places that you have been into the places that you want to go? Yeah, okay, I think that's all I'm seeing for you guys. Let me know if this reading resonated for you. Leave a comment below, and if it did at all, if you found it helpful in any way, consider giving me a like. That will help other people find this video too. And I hope I hope that you I wish you all the luck in your time in your inner world and in your new expansive journey. I think you're going to do great things in the world once you get out there, and I hope you have a great day.